I'm saying, I had my moment. Mekasa about the Chief Justice, the suspended Chief Justice. Madam Mrs. Gertrude Tokonu, and Semwa Ode Ebabetuja, Medenini na eto meka madwen Ghana for etre wo madwen Ghana for etre wo madwen won sem ne so. Today we are going to talk about a year ninsem no. Mama mo atiase say ohwe ne press conference a wo be ye na ensem a wo pese obro so say 3, okay. Ninsem a no pese obro so basically no ensem miensa. Obeso otre say ya sheda na ye kana na ye pese ye ni free ho. Bibia ye de na kwa ye se onye petition no ho ne ekun ne wofa. Enti no ya sheda na ye sanso de na kwa so that ye be cause some psychological trauma ne so. Ena on resign ende on resign ochina. On resign ende on resign ochina. Na eno no o resign a say ne benefit no onya ne pension ne nyama bi onya eno hunti on resign obeko a ekone de say onya njaye onya nwiye enya de a wo begjae kun obeko a enya asem ketwa. Now what I'm going to do is say, if you really want to listen to the analysis I did, I've done about 30 minutes long analysis. What you say, and whatever I'll have to say, I'll say again. I don't want to come here and say all the things I've said again because I asked very relevant questions. And question, one of the questions are not maybe and they say, how did this woman become a Chief Justice? Because so here, senior na wo kasa, asemo a odi akọ Supreme Court ayabo asemo egu. Obi a wote committee ni mu a committee no, it has powers of the court. Na committee ni nye nedwuma wiye. Na as a Chief Justice, a suspended Chief Justice, waba bejine nim na u denigrate members of the committee. Say omo ye biased, omo ndi asem ne mawo. Meanwhile committee ni nka asem wiye. Na wa pick out the chairman of the committee. Say or no chairman no ni netina case bi so na when the case not to say send ya na wo pe eno hunti no unim say chairman no ono nso case we ondi mawo che say odwen ho awonte ase enti na ya de bia maami no kra ne nyame anim ni contempt emra na tre said the documents of a yes adi sa adi we ya ekosui but ya said the removal no we remove our no document no any kwan say Ghana ni bi ehu no wa ba be press conference na we release document na ka emu nsem ni na tre Ghana for clearly violation of the constitution but yes here but why the obey I've said whatever. So the main question I had to ask was, how did she become the Chief Justice? Because clearly no utumi hune said the woman is unlawful, she is unconstitutional, she doesn't believe in the constitution of this country, right? Now Senior Mekano, I am going to mainly do a reaction. Or say one resign. You be read this story now. Walk as one resign. No, near read we are. You beba more melodies a bush and force. So more kasa a democrat frame. More kaso. Among so kasa more kano. You be reading more comments. Na monso ya he. There more air can. There is a reason why. And the over Ghana social media, the law is trending. You will look into that as well. Why the law is trending in the Ghanaian space, right? The Indiana, the law is the law. Now, you read you say, I will not resign nor retire. Suspended Chief Justice Tokonu. Or say, the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokonu has stated that resigning from office is not an option. Addressing a press conference on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, she explained that resigning would amount to running away from the allegations leveled against her in the 3 separate petitions seeking her removal from office. Osi resigning na ne kyerɛ sɛ nsɛm a yɛde abɔ ne so no ase wo dwane free nsɛm ne ho. Resigning is not an option. The final and fourth reason for this statement is that I have heard on several occasions from loved ones, well-meaning individuals, persons who care, those who may not know me beyond my public duties, and many others, that since it appears the current proceedings are carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, it would be best if I simply retired or resigned, rather than subject myself to an ill-motivated process. I have also received threats and veiled threats suggesting that if I do not resign or voluntarily retire, I will be made to suffer some harm or other consequences. Intino, that's we are kind of me who say enra okuja Messi okujato. Sorry. Asiye dunketia ababemano a befitting response. And today I'll talk about that on Senate Talks Politics. But basically, no, my meaning someone walk as a one resigning and their own resigning or china. Adofo kasa atreno. Omo a woni omo wa sorry. Omo ye ne nan fofo. Ne busuafo. Omo say ade omo de ye o resigning na pe o baby tine. O say dabi on resigning. On retire. On yes sir. On yes sir. And yes sir, he will be made she will be made to suffer some harm or other consequence. Or say ya ka treno encrophobia man a threat. Se one resign ya. Omo be yen the bonnet. I say don't get ya say Obia now ye Chief Justice. Unim Ghana mra. Say encropho threatening wa. You have to make a report to the police station. Unye report be to the police. And oba be jina you make and say ya threat just say ye threatening. What sort of public sympathy are you trying? You see, then again, every single thing. Me say internet rawo. Me say me tie ma me nsem a wo kan bia no make statement bia na. Now the question and me bisa say, how did she become the Chief Justice? Because it was as if say she forgot about the law. She forgot she was a judge. Just say, insane baby I no work no. Hey, if you ask who. Anyway, as a furthermore, resigning or retiring while Article 146 proceedings are ongoing to remove a judge is not even an option legally available to any judge or public official. The Supreme Court has issued a decision on this matter, she noted. Her statement comes in the wake of a prima facie determination on 3 petitions filed for her removal, following which President John Dramani Mahama suspended her and appointed a 5-member committee to investigate her conduct. The Supreme Court has since unanimously dismissed her application for an interlocutory injunction against the committee. It also struck out a supplementary affidavit she filed, citing the disclosure of confidential information in violation of Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, which governs the removal process for Superior Court justices. And so basically, that's the suspended Chief Justice vowing and telling Ghanaians say she's not going to resign or she's not going to retire. What you say? Wakana join. Now, you read the comments. Me say, it's a video where me mainly about comments, right? Media they make can be a maka enra. What you say? Into you heard the Ghana for eka. I say, okay, then stay home and be working for your master, Akufo-Addo, or just go to MPP headquarters and start working there for them. They need a lawyer very soon. What did you think? What did you think for dying with Akufo-Addo? Okay, I say, Ngrofo din atempa, atemdi Ngrofo din the main kind. I say, what did you think for dying with Akufo-Addo? Akufo-Addo has no good plans and no good appointments. All his appointments was well calculated for his own selfish reasons. Sorry, but you are gone and no turning back to your office. Mame, stop fooling yourself. No way for you as CJ again. Bye-bye to you. Ghana does not belong to you and Akufo-Addo. Obi said, this woman too be something. I pity your husband. You have a useless character as a woman. Hey. But people are really insulting her. I think say I don't know, but I think say as same way in Asha, people disagreed with her and all that. But for press conference we are babe ye, me who say ama ne ho kra ye nkrofo hi more. Ama afa de nkrofo say mami say no be dia. Let us come out and then insult her. And clearly if you see some of the commentary and for passive on social media, people are really going in and they are insulting it. I am not going to stamp my feet on that. I am not going to approve of. I don't approve of that. As I said, the insults there, I don't approve of. I feel say you can make your points known without insulting her, Miss Remo. And Madie, a young normal handling, no. Personally, a young ye dim batem wamempe. Or a beman I wouldn't attempt there, no problem. A young ye dim batem wamempe. Especially someone who is a mother figure. And Rameka say, Meka ye mame, Meka say, Minizu vive baba can say, melodies. Jaisa ye mame now can onye ye mame no. Obi baba can. Obi baba can. As the master, Jaisa ye mame now can onye ye mame. I say, hello, youth of Ghana. Okay, I say, just give a dog a bad name and hang it. It's most unfortunate that we have to go through all these politicians sack. It will be the no. And Obi also say, NPP animals are confused again. Almost 99% aimless and criminal, Lekufuado and NPP criminal organization government. NPP criminal organization. Government officials and appointees are bunches of natural-born criminals and nation wreckers. Ghanaians are too tired of NPP. Long live criminal NPP party in opposition. Obisi Mahama is incompetent and corrupt. Oh my God. And yesterday, I'll bring you that story as well. Yesterday, the Office of the Presidency swiftly responded to the suspended Chief Justice. And I mean, the demeanor, calm, everything. You see, I think there is something going on. And I think that was the reason why the Chief Justice came to do the press conference. Okay. Personally, I think, probably maybe the committee are about to be done with findings. And maybe the Chief Justice has seen, committee, because you see, the truth of the matter, they say, the committee cannot come out to say their side of the story. Till they make any use, that's the way I'm making. It might be the secret behind what the chief, because yesterday, we showed the response presidency debate and the calmness behind the response now. It tells you there's something going on. And this is what I think is going on. Committee no moon to me ma story. Because it is more like the Chief Justice story against that of the committee. Committee no my imagine say we move follow mrano. Mrane say momo ma abonte ma meka nsem ni nyina. Momo fa nsem ne mba abonte. Into whatever the Chief Justice does, the committee, we are not going to hear from them. We are not going to hear what they say. We are not going to see the reports. For all we know, Chief Justice was allowed to do whatever she wanted to do, but a core committee she was exposed. Evidence etiano. Saying someone near the can't etian and yan say in the quarry. And she has seen say committee because yes, I mean there are people who are court now we say ya okoko di asem no court e wo wakume mu nim say asem we de melusu. So apparently I think that might have happened. And she knows the committee, because they are planning to go by the constitution or bekan de bekan fa committee ni hu bia committee number abontin fa document ni member to ga enti Ghana for into me hu de course or committee ni so enti ono ba bekan de. But apparently she has seen or she has heard say committee na your report ni wi the report na kwa president or no Chief Justice ni ba be pame no. Enti ende wondi kan bra abontin no be sa press conference we. No onka ensem ni ngu committee ni so. Until at the end of the day, during the week or next week, say report never abontin say president nensa ka committee report, committee recommendation say yempameno. Until no president ne pamena. Na kwa say oba abontin be press conference ninti. Because any American wo hwe Felesofusu kwache. The press conference ye enra na. The way he was calm and he was speaking, obehunu say he knows something. He has probably heard something. He has probably seen a report from the committee. And he has seen allegations ebia mameno, conclusions and recommendations ye make ye hu say that be mameno or the position probably ebia wo didi bone. Into workers and no ye calm. Na some wa kan ye me then say omo a womo ka setia processes ni na no, none of them etumi atre constitutionally why the processes are ye chief justice no bone. None of them etumi atre. And I think say that is the meat of the issue. Or say Mahama is incompetent and corrupt. Oh my God, obedient no. Or say, oh, now I know why she's been throwing up her tantrums. Araba Tokonu is a girl, Michelle, attended the end attended the means also. I say, honestly, the husband has suffered. I say, I've listened to her. She has tried her own case, dismissed allegations against her, and judged herself not guilty, laughing out loud. Imagine every accused person doing that. Madam, stop playing the victim. Go and convince the 5 members panel and stop disturbing our ears. I say, how objective is the 5-member committee handpicked and established by one person? Our constitution needs very serious amendments to make it a non-manipulative system. I say, how objective were the panels that she put up in many cases, argue for constitutional amendments? I say, Sarah, you are not in USA, you are in Ghana. God will not allow anyone like you to travel outside Ghana because you are evil. Hey, in Titisia, the Ngrofo bon Grofodia. Comment amu read ya. Chief Justice in Samuel Bay. Ngrofo bon Grofo. Because someone is not speaking for the Chief Justice in Tinyanko for money into crime. What dear? Charlie, everyone say you. Everyone say do. Ah. Comments. Anyway, I say she is bold. Obviously, foolishly bold. That's it. I say this woman wanted to be a chief justice, and at the same time chose to be Akufoado's mouthpiece. She has nowhere to hide under the sun. I say, why don't you go to the Supreme Court tomorrow and sit on the chair? Who made you a judge over us? You are no longer my lord, my lord. Godfrey Dami's favorite judge. Hey, Charlie, Dabi. Obi say, exactly, go to your office and sit in the big chair. Or say, Madam MPP Women Organizer, you don't have to resign or retire. You'll be retired, resigned, and confined to trash pile of history. Or say, Madam, Ghanaians are fed up with your face. Please go and let us have life. We are tired of you. Just like we are tired with Akufoado, your master. Also, you'll be fired whether you resign or not. You are MPP Chief Justice and very biased. You'll be sacked soon. Bye-bye. Obedient no. Also, you can even decide to hang yourself. Stupid. Hey, Charlie. You'll be kicked out. Charlie, people are really insulting her. Hey, Aseme Granny. Or say your mother is a useless mother for giving birth to such a useless and or say I think you were born out of wood. You don't have the slightest sense of respect. Or say she can go to hell. You are enjoying the same justice system you superintended to others. Or say CJ Tokonu considers herself the wisest and wittiest person in Ghana. She's well aware of the fact that the Constitution mandates this process to be held in camera. Yet she holds a presser, judges her own case to win public sympathy. Ghanaians are not food. We've been following you since the Opuni case. You re-empaneled judges and made yourself the chief. We watched with bated breath when you tried to usurp the power of the Speaker of Parliament. Thanks to your prodding by Afenyo-Markins. Now, you are reminding Ghanaians of the separation of powers. Majority of the people want you gone. You sold your soul to Akufoado. Now it is too late. You were a fine judge at the commercial court, but you sold your conscience as the CJ. There is no way back. And so this is coming from Nisage. I want also a trainer doing. I want them so. I say the suspended Chief Justice Tokonu has exposed herself and against NDC and against NDC. She mentioned the venue of the investigation as where the murder of the 3 High Court judges and the retired mayor were planned. And that the retired mayor was her uncle, Oyiwa. The cat is out of the bag. She hates NDC, period. And yes, it's one of the things I said. Bibia or say ACC, you know, petition, no. Say how you kun ne wafa. Na during NDC for PNDC time, Renaissance and some Intiana. On send America, no. People are saying, say, Intiana now time NDC, sano. I say your career is going to the gutters. Corrupt woman. I say Araba. I say you can choose to hang on a suspended CJ until you yourself decide to go on your own. No one is going to buy your self-inflicted self-pity. I say, I am with you. Never back down. You will win in the end. Shame on you, Mahama. Pathetic. I say, she's gone forever. No more as CJ in Ghana's history. Obviously, good decision. I say, the law is the law. I say, Mahama, sack this woman, please. Madam, the job is not your entitlement. See, Mahama, nye in them granon pameno. I say, you don't have a job. But, I don't know. Online, people are really insulting her. The way people are insulting her, I don't like it. Yembra Melodies a busian for the minim say yebuya ho. Enya de ankrofo attempt to say. And so the comments I read was from the comments I read were from ordinary Ghanaians. As I said, the comments I read were from ordinary Ghanaians omo edi mamenatem. Yembra Melodies a busian for her. Near the Melodies a busian for Eka. This is coming from Andrew Smarty. I say, so is that why she hates the NDC and doing the bidding of the MPP? She has clearly exposed herself. When so every go data prof, or say, no wonder they hate NDC in the courts. Sarah, I say, the very scary part is to disclose the location of the committee doing their work. She's very diabolic and dangerous because she wants people to go and attack them. The committee has to change the venue and have a strong security. And it is indeed is in the Okana inquiry. The fact that she's even exposing where the committee is doing the work, it's supposed to be a national security issue. It's true. It's supposed, because she was the leader of an arm of government. What you are saying is true, Sarah Yeboah. It is very true. I didn't even think of that. In my analysis, it didn't even come to thought. But the Okana inquiry pan say why expose the committee Bibi omoye probing it's national security wise enye. We every Petrina Hodgson. This woman has now exposed her true colors. She's against the NDC in every shape or form. Thus, she cannot be neutral. We every Agnes, or say she's just crying, not enjoying Ghana money or salary. That she would not be taking. I say she's just crying, not enjoying Ghana money or salary. That she would not be taking is disturbing. Go and someone also will come. Go home. Your time is over. Okay, so that's coming from Agnes. I'm say Mavis. And now Maeve. I say, how did she become a Chief Justice? How did she become CJ? She was appointed by the. How did she become CJ? She was appointed by the certificateless president, Nana Akufo-Addo. Joseph Aqua say, Melodies, this person has no clue what the Constitution is. If she did, she would know how to define what a Ghanaian citizenship is. Rose Dunfe, or say, hey, if I may ask, is that position for her father or family inherited? Enra me had no comments back will be kind of say, ade na mami had a position and papa diana. On the asie, you say kwa. Kwabna say, sir, so this is why you hate NDC. Madam, you will be sad for a long time. NDC is not going anywhere. Oh, that Kwabna, Obia Mega say, Melodies for Mudia Mundi atem no. Just say, Odia fame. Kwabna, I don't know, yes, sir. Joseph Aqua say, Melodies, that woman is the Akufo-Addo kind of lawyer. She's complete disgrace to the judiciary. Joseph say, Joseph Akwabim, or say Melodies. This person is of fit for the purpose of a CJ. How on earth did she become the Chief Justice? That's the kind of person a Kufuado reverse in positions of authority. All this drama will not help her one bit. Joe Ganza, I say, a liar and a partisan woman. The law is the law, no matter how you cry. Graceman say, it is high time this CJ is removed. Dan, I say, she has crucified herself, and the committee can use these disclosures she has made public about the in-camera proceedings of the committee to impeach without even continuing further with the matter. She has breached the 1992 Constitution of Ghana and her oath thereto, and must suffer the consequences thereof. Araba Isaba, oye classless and shameless. Trese, no modicum of respect for yourself. That's coming from Dan. Ken Cranche say, the committee is not a court within the judicial service, so she cannot be held to contempt of court. Her behavior, however, demonstrates that she is an unfit person to be reinstated as CJ. Also, they are performing constitutional functions, therefore they can be held with committee. In this country, committee. What I know is that the committee assumes, committee actually assumes the powers of high courts, right? What I know, okay, Ewa Ghana and said a committee actually assumes the powers of a high court. I'm just doing something that's a committee. I don't know whether is this even a committee of inquiry. There's a committee. We say a committee of inquiry, right? I don't know. Maybe powers. I'm searching something of. For the purposes of appeal. As it has been said by our Court of Union Office. Then can a committee of inquiry? Yeah, I said the lawyers not abwying. Can a committee of inquiry hold someone for contempt? A commission or committee of inquiry can find a person to be incompetent for public office or find that they acquire assets unlawfully while being a public officer. About this inquiry, blah, 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 committee white paper before. If a committee of inquiry believes someone has committed contempt, it can certify that fact to the High Court, which then has the power to deal with the contempt. Okay. So, you say, the committee no ehun say or ye na no hu say will be a contemptor. I mean, Masechi, what they are saying is that the committee directly cannot hold someone for contempt. But what the committee can do, they say, so be a BB. now omo feel say contempt, they can file a certificate in the court to show that the background they are in a contempt, and then the court will deal with it. What you say? So it's more like indirectly the committee can hold her for contempt, but not directly as in the court will do, right? So that's Ken Cranting. What you are saying, I think you have a point. Okay, you have a point. Directly, the committee can't hold her for contempt, but indirectly, it looks like they can, right? Mesechi, and that's what they are saying. Gina essay, how did she become a CJ under Ado? I say, how did she become a Chief Justice under Ado? Anything crooked can be accepted in their eyes. Why Ado appointed her and she became a CJ? This is coming from Gina Biom. I say, the law is the law, as she once quoted, a typical MPP protector. And if she remains in position, democracy will suffer, as she will use her own powers to control the people in her own family and friends' favor. The same laws were used to prosecute even other lawyers, prominent persons, and the public, even those who desperately took a bunch of plantain, cassava, bread, etc., because the law is the law. As a small point, contempt is not in the hands of the NDC. It's the committee's job to determine. Not right for you to say NDC for NDC for Fancy, yes, new staff channel. You are right. In fact, when I was saying that, I realized the mistake, and so I corrected it. Utie me video ni ya. You are right. I initially made the statement say contempt no NDC for Fancy or some of the better channel. But later in the video, Nutia, I corrected say, oh, but contempt ne krano. Enye mahama na ebe ye on to me only to me so be holding for contempt. NDC into me holding for contempt. Court no. NDC ni said to me no. I made that correction. So thank you very much. New staff channel. You are right. You are right. Jerry say, oh you are. She's incompetent. George say that is why she hates NDC. Blola say men must be very careful when giving a woman their name. Christian Aite say Gertrude Tokonu must be arrested for contempt of court. Atankuri Prince say Awam, she even cried blood. I say she even cried blood. Atankuri Bium, I say that's the reason why she hated NDC. Atankuri say what's her problem? Is the Chief Justice position belongs to her family? This woman, I say Obi say she has just brought clarity to her actions against the interest of NDC as CJ. So a lot of people are sharing their thoughts. Charles Darko say, Melodies, I always tell you NPP is full of mentally disabled abodanfo nkwa. Abakra say, she is lying. Which NDC killed her uncle? Hasn't the person got a name? Somebody asked her, how many people did NPP kill? Stop playing games. How you neglected someone apologizing, and due to your wickedness, a father passed. So cruel, you are partial in your job. At the CJ, you were MPP lawyer, and for Ghanaians, so kick yourself out. From your own mouth, you said the law is the law. So you are not obeying the same law. Stop the merry-go-round. Ghana is not yours. We are all Ghanaians. Madam Propaganda. Hey, Abakra, Wakasawu. Alexa essay, she feels entitled. And her simplicity say, they killed her uncle, so she was there for revenge. If President Mahama maintained this woman, people are dead. She can base on such issues to jail people. And you see, that's what I'm saying. So at this point, one man asked them crying. Okay, so what if the committee does a recommendation and they now tell the president, say, oh, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, oh, the Anya Shemami we di bonede. Now, so yen, Yesu say, ni any question will remove you because of the precedence in tea. Maninye nejuma. What if Saadi Nisi? What is actually going to happen? What if Saadi Nisi? What is actually going to happen? Like, how is the situation going to be like? Can she come back and work as the Chief Justice after doing all these things and all the drama and saying all these things? Can she do that? I don't know. It's a question I'm asking. Because at this point, and that is why I'm saying, say, it looks like Mame no, she knows what is going on. That's why I'm saying, say, it looks like Mame no, we who say committee na your reports be. Intia na waba bonti ababe kan semu awaka no. Because there's that possibility. In as much as we might think say it is a low possibility, no, there is that possibility that the committee might say yes, see why nyama bi there. Now so removing her might be harsh. Inti yen fine punishment there na bibi ma yen no. Maybe suspension na wako no, it is enough. Retain her. It is a possibility. It is here you can't say wombra baka, they no be. Like, how is it even going to be like? Because all Sanyama way are in nano. I don't know, it's some way. I say we every Alex Ejei Kumi and Akum. I say she's making things worse for herself. Alex Biom, I say this woman is not fit to be a judge. Simon, I say, is that the reason why you wanted this country to practice trumu? Buba, I say she's mad. Buba Biom, I say you are bitter. That is why you wanted to destroy Ghana. Al Hassan say Melodies, the suspended Chief Justice is simply doesn't respect the Constitution, and indeed, such a person need not to be even a judge, and not to talk of even becoming a Chief Justice. Simon say, where was she? I say, where was she when people were being shot and killed, and that the person who appointed her, she must give a break. George, I say, the woman is not very proficient in law and appears even to lack common sense. D. Hill, I say, her action has been very irresponsible. She's been given the wrong advice. Obviously, she's not above the law and must be dealt with in accordance with the Constitution. The Attorney General is doing the right thing by updating the country on the progress of the cases. He's being transparent. The critics are afraid of being exposed. The Attorney General must continue with what he's doing. The courts are there. In Siayeboa say, CJ, don't let MPP to push you into the gutter before you say, had I known, is at last you go without your entitlement. In Siabium, or say, if it is true that NDC Mahama government killed her uncle with evidence, what is she waiting for? Straight to court and stop this nonsense propaganda. As a CJ making this allegation in press briefing, no, it is not true just to smear NDC Mahama. Paul say, did the people know about you and your uncle's death? Why are you the only person who have lost a relative? Why are you the only person who has lost a relative? Hypocrite. And you see, this is even... So, is it because President Akufo-Addo knew her background? Intia no man never Chief Justice nana. Chale, ba say yenwe ho saa o, ba yedwen ho a. I say, what you say? I say President Akufo-Addo knew her background. Intia no wode no ba Chief Justice no. Because naturally, obia saa de na to no. Naturally, enya de obepe NDC asem. Because free ne tirimu no, ehye ne tirim say eye NDC. Party e babe da ne NDC no. Ene ne nembre so no mukum ni ofa, right? That's what she will say. Party e babe da ne NDC no, enombre so ene kum, omombre so ne kum ni ofa. It is a President Akufo-Addo. Ehwemu anu hu ne se dabi, naturally no ma me enya de obepe because on pen NDC asem, naturally ne busuafo nyina enya de omepe NDC asem. Ene de constant. Ti naturally ma me on pen NDC asem. Na enu nti wa appointing as a Chief Justice. That's all we need. NDC for backcourt we ye den bebo mo asem egu. No. Because naturally she doesn't like NDC. So for all we know, hey. And I think say, you see, that we need a proper reform say omo a wo be hold positions like that, you know, yen check your background, you who say, because you see, for some people, and this life is revenge for them. For some people, into only 3 months there, who say you are at fault. And your mom was safe when you come me wafa. Into me so me be tiamo back. But ebi a wo weni so no unim nipa krono adwenya wo dey take decision bi. No, I think that was the reason why President Akufo-Addo chose her. I seriously think that was the reason. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. As a melody, the suspended Chief Justice is frustrated by her removal, and because of that, she's making up notions in bid to seek public sympathy. The CJ is a disgrace to the judiciary. Fritz essay is Provisional National Defense (PNDC) Council, the same as National Democratic Council (NDC). I mean, we all know say by name the PNDC is not the NDC. But say your name say UP, tete no. Ati asiye, omo no mo babe form MPP no. Sa ni name say PNDC so e babe than the NDC. Ati asiye. But technically, yes, you can say what you are saying. Cynthia say Melodies. The law didn't say she cannot travel with her family. The Constitution says if her trip is not official, then she has to fund herself. The truth must be told. As a enemies of progress, CJ. Alloy, say she's not correct. MPP vampires chairperson. ECC Nation TV. Or say, good evening, Melodies, and the family, Melodies. Thanks for acknowledging me. Pastor Daniel Uni. Okay. Thanks for acknowledging me. You're actually doing a great job. Keep at it. Thank you. Otun, or say, who was that uncle? And when was he killed? How did she know her uncle was killed at the Edu Lodge? And apparently the uncle was a major, right? She now or soldier ni penny. Or say or can or more soldiers penny for na ya babe for money judges no. Omutifia omachi ya babe fa ni uncle fa judges kan home in your kuku. That's what she said. That's the story, right? The fact that she even added, the fact that she even added that story, that's funny. Anyway, Kwame Ejese, do you think Akufo-Addo would have chosen her to replace Enim Yeboah if truthfulness, objectivity, and fairness mean anything to her? Wasa, say, what about MPP killing innocent Ghanaians at Techiman South? And Chris Eka says she believes her uncle's life is more important than those people who were shot and killed just for exercising their democratic rights. James essay, arrest Tokonu for contempt immediately. Mahama is too weak to handle this rude woman, Tokonu. I mean, James, the correction is that it is not in the hands of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to arrest anyone for contempt. Yes, I corrected that. I corrected it. Yasmin say, I see. So it's about a personal vendetta. Now, who would trust a person with vengeance in their hearts? Very unfortunate, but perhaps the best for the nation because we don't want to be going round in circle because of one man's bitterness. Citizen Maulom as a playing the victim mentality. As a playing the victim mentality. That's coming from Citizen Maulom. James essay, this woman is behaving as if Akufo-Addo has issued for her life Chief Justice. This woman should not be Chief Justice in Chief Justice in Ghana. The woman should be arrested immediately for contempt. That's coming from James. This I say seriously, CJ is lawless. The ruling from her peers was clear. Respect the Constitution. But no, I believe the panel must punish her. She has no respect for them. Gaston essay, how and why is the government tolerating the evil act of the devilish dictator at the Supreme Court? Just sack her, period. This is coming from Sami. I say her attitude shows that she has a hidden hatred for the NDC party. So she needs to leave the seat. Sichu essay, I will advise the CJ to go on social media and read comments. She's not fit to occupy that position. She's just making us angry. The more. What nonsense. Adolescent, she's going bonkers, crazy. Patience, I say, does it mean Tokonu is from a dubious family? Patience, question I will be saying, does it mean Tokonu is from I mean, why are you saying that? Because you believe that those who were killed, they were involved in a dubious act. Internal said, does it mean Tokonu is from a dubious family? I don't know. Mike, as a still, you and whose mom? Mike, make us say, yeah, mommy, and I say, only why, mommy. I see you and whose mom? Alex Marte say, you have such a person as a judge. Just remember who appointed her and the rest. Deborah say, I think her suspension is causing her dementia. But for essay, this confirms she leaked the petition to MPP. She's very desperate now. It's clear that she so loves this CJ position. She can't believe that she's losing it. That is what I gather from her press conference. You see, what you are saying, but for what you are saying is true. What you are saying is very, very, very true. You see, ewiase won nanka ne papa mu no oye nipa. We need to learn how to detach ourselves from our position. You see, there are some people throughout their lives, they have always wanted to get something. It has always been a goal. It has always been a dream. They've always been at it to get that thing. Now, when you're anyway, now they feel, say, yes, I have done it. I feel pompous. Because of the journey, sometimes when mama say title, no, it's around you, everything is about that title for them. And you can clearly see people like that. So who ye title they feel like they are losing their life. And so they feel like young kunto kwai more ding. It is true. Inti ne papa muon, nipa daseni. Whatever you achieve in life, it is good. But if you are able to detach yourself from that thing you've achieved in life, you don't care whether you lose it or not. Because you know in your heart, say, if you've been able to achieve it before, you can do greater things than that. Me say, nanka Chief Justice, mami, nanka nasem ne bae no. Nanka the best way mami, nanka me feel say, we be to me play this thing out. And they say, NDC Airbano, clearly, and I had near TH, can near him say NDC Abbey dear. Mami Obeko, even MPP Wahono, people were petitioning President Akufo-Addo to remove you. And President Akufo-Addo na win fee. It's near him say NDC bar, people are going to petition NDC to remove you. And NDC, they will follow through with the constitution. And she knew say NDC bar wobeko. She knew. And it was like she was preparing for the fight. But I can tell you say the best thing I can mami be and say emra what is a petition abano. Nko be to many president akasa. Mo pese meko, no problem. I will avail myself and all that. It doesn't mean this. It doesn't have to be dirty. I will go to the committee, respond to the committee. And it doesn't have to be dirty. I'll avail myself. I'll not say anything bad. Once you remove me, it doesn't need to be dirty. But Mr. Odie, as a president, no, Odie, you supposition na pay. And Odie, won't cast Andre Mahama Krana. As a Chief Justice, me sure say you have links outside. There are Ghanaian judges almost sitting on a year, and I don't know if she loses her seat as the Chief Justice. It doesn't mean she has lost her seat as a judge, right? And I ye if you want not to say ye as a Chief Justice indirectly, let us say ye as a Supreme Court judge and not to say ye jin the judge I don't know. But whatever the case may be, you see, and that's exactly what Jean Mensa Omunina message Jean Mensa Charlotte say. MPP for ye Charlotte say. Or request for Nenkrata, I am farmer. One man be a press conference, and man be bibia wa mama all these things. All this drama wa mama at the end of the day, now other African countries, ECOWAS, ni African Union for omo ye bibi about election na Charlotte say mpanyimfo a no to me come ho ekosa aman ni mu ekwakoboa omo electoral commission no. And so she assumed a bigger role. And I think say no quarry like the chief justice no could have done that, because you see the years of being in court and knowing the law no she has experience. We might decide with some of the things you say, but we see there no only memorano maybe application in a yen decide yen sided with or no, but she knows the law and a knowledge base bia nanka mimi feel say nanka obe to me e dia ye adwuma in a different field, a different sector. It doesn't necessarily mean Ghana, but could be in West Africa or something. But what heard the question now to me when they say she made her whole life about being a chief justice. It was like what you say, everything Ewana Brabon was about the chief justice. Into OG position at the point OG position the reason why she will fight is that she sees that as you taking away her life. And a lot of us, and that's the reason why Obehun say Obi ne yiri ejai no ne kunu ejai no wose me kokum me ho na wanu medru eku ne ho. Obi ne girlfriend ejai no wose me ku me ho na wanu medru eku ne ho. Because there are people like that. Their whole lives were about the relationship. Omo abrabo ni na about omo relationship no. Nti ye jai no ohun ne said that there's no reason for me to live again. But if the relationship exists, and then you are also living your life, aside everything else, the relationship exists there. Udoni pakrono, you are not going to cheat on the person. The opebia oye, the no, the opebia oye mano, the also peno, or no so yamao. The relationship should be an aspect of your life. It shouldn't take over your life. Once that one is an aspect of your life, you have another aspect of your life. And they say, Ebia, uyobia otaiko gym. That one is also an aspect of your life. Uyobia uye juma. It should be. So you see, nipa da se nyanga sa se was say you live your brabon say. I was say udetach on. Na every single aspect of your life. No ujinechi na woshe. You have a career. It should be an aspect of your life. You need to create several aspects of your lives. And no, you don't get affected too much. So Obaneka say ujaiwa, no problem. You have other aspects of your life you can concentrate on. You have your career you concentrate on. You have other things you concentrate on. So for me, sa comment here about for che kujo apaseno, it makes a lot of sense. Utumi hun se na brabo ni na was about being a chief justice. At this point, she feels like she's fighting for her life. She feels like oh Jane Queen feelings him. Kwame J. Mensah say, precedents? Were there no precedents set when you nullified our birth certificates? How do you justify the Black Book Dictionary? The funny thing is that even with the birth certificate, she wasn't part of the judges. So, but the reason why a lot of people are quoting the birth certificate, against her, and they say when she was being vetted to the Supreme Court, she defended it. I'm not no more vetting, no. I think yes, when she was being vetted, she defended the birth certificate thing. Like defended it seriously, and then the man Crawford who say and they say so na birth certificate decision okay ho. Koko say, Mami talk on your press conference is unconstitutional. How you have handled this matter from the beginning to the time is unconstitutional. It is delusional to believe that ordinary Ghanaians are interested in your issues. Believe me, people are not even following these matters. That's coming from Koko. Paul Abochi. I say, but is Ghana for this woman? What is this? Paul Abochi bisa. I say, Ghana ya odia. And a lot of people are asking that question. Irene say she can cry blood. Araba must go. Nana, I say, you don't understand. That's a saying. I say there's a saying, before every living thing dies, it struggles. It doesn't just die. Not just say abuibia bewa or pray. Agnes, I say, she's just informed us that the judges are biased. CJ feels she should be exempted from all this scrutiny. Truth be told, Gertrude was favored above senior judges for the post. I mean, we all know that. Joseph Atta say she's destroying herself rather. Apia say she becoming a chief justice because she's MPP woman, but forgets that the table can turn anytime soon. Julie say she's above the law. She knows NDC is a weak party. That's why she's doing all this. Etty Child say, my guy, JM is too timid. This can't happen in Johnson Asiedun Ketia government. If he's to be president, any smart president can arrest and jail her in addition. JM is giving the MPP guy room to misbehave, and it's giving the nation a long way to get where the nation is going. Let's be careful with some of the things we say, right, Michelle? Etty Child. Let's really be careful with some of the things we say. It's a democracy we are running. We forget that it is the democracy we are running, Ms. Remo. Grace, I say, please, may I ask, was it not revolutionary time? Why NDC now? I say, Melodies, please. I always tell you to serious with your program. This particular episode by Tokono is vague and silly. It's no laughing matter. Manche, munte masio. In some be make kana mesreno. Don't take it literal. Say, Madam Tokono in some make kana mesreninti. I am not taking the matter serious. Don't take it literal. Some of us, when we are laughing, it is serious. Some of us are saying, say because yes, serious. That be don't take it like that. Because I'm talking about the Chief Justice, a serious matter, and I'm laughing. I say, so you think I'm not being serious? Don't take it like that. Some of us, yes, but we are very, very, very serious. Mr. John, I say, my question is, did she follow the law? Esther say, oh, they killed your uncle. That is why you hate NDCU. Shame on you, disgracing yourself. John Biom, I say the law is the law. No emotional meltdown or blackmail can exonerate this MPP gatekeeper. Apia Kwame say, MPP, a detrust the core opposition. What is a crassy party? A Jimmy Semen Kwan, now so only one cocker. Juliet, I say, Melodies. Then that comment she said that NDC government killed her uncle. That's mean Nanado and MPP government intentionally brought her to BCJ to come and take revenge on NDC government, ruling and favoring behalf of MPP. And you see, yes, and I didn't even say it in the video, but you are making sense, Juliet. That's exactly what I just discovered. Ricky say, what did your uncle do? She's behaving just like Afenyo Markin. No wonder they have something in common. Their value is the same. Charles, I say, Madam Tokono doesn't respect the constitution, Ghana. She personally has issues against the NDC government. Percy Joe say, this woman keep disgracing himself. Didn't she have families who would advise her to resign? She even controlled the husband to the extent that the husband can't even talk. Someone I say, hey, Percy, your himself and herself are your problems. And George Asari say, I told you MPP. Kofi Otabil say, herself, not himself. She's a woman. Mohammed say, why are you crying now? You forget what you have done to the people of Ghana. You are bad Chief Justice. Don't cry now. Quack Special Prosecutor say, NPP equals narcissistic personality party. I like this. I like this. Quack Special Prosecutor. I like this. I like this. Narcissistic personality party. It is true. It is true. Narcissistic. Yeah, that's the new name. Narcissistic personality party. Quack say, my question is, Will she shamelessly go back to the Supreme Court if this case against her is squashed by the president? How comfortable will she be working again as a Chief Justice? I keep talking about integrity and caution. And you see, that's the question I asked. Quack Special Prosecutor, that's exactly the question I asked. Sisiano, say a case won't call back, can she go back? Adia wababe, can you go back? Mr. Cheru, I say, you said all I wanted to write. George, I say, George and so the name. Quack, say, my question is, will she shamelessly go back? I refer that. Government, I say, all these her attitudes shouldn't surprise anyone. What she has in her mind is evil. They brought her in to cover their dirty plan. And Francis Eka said, very evil, so she's disappointed. And then Mohammed, I say, no wonder, but how many people died under Akufo-Addo his 8 years? And Obima say, she will be sacked soon with her in Kwasi Asem. So, comment a free Ghana for no. Won't try your comment box anymore.